Amanda Land. In vlog number 19, I'm going to show you how to make a pumpkin pie from scratch. Not from a can, but from an actual sugar pumpkin. Now the recipe that I use, I go by the recipe from Trader Joe's. It's on their sugar pumpkins, and I will not link it, but I will write down the full recipe in the description box below if you're interested. So let's get to it. So here's the recipe. I will type it out nicer in the description like I mentioned so you guys can read it, but that's what we're going to be going off of. Now this process is typically a 2-day process. First day is preparing the pumpkin, cooking it, and then the next day after it's cooled is the baking of the pies. You can do it all in one day if you're feeling crazy. I usually separate it just so I let the pumpkin cool sufficiently. So first thing you gotta do is carve the pumpkin. What I use to carve the pumpkin is this knife. Yes, it's a little kitty pumpkin knife, but it works. Are you watching? Is carve the pumpkin. Really easy peasy. Ow! Ouch. Okay, it doesn't help that I have long nails. That hurt. Chop, 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 chop. Doesn't have to be perfect. Yay. And then you want to split it in half because instructions say you want to bake it in halves. So just cut in half. Telling you, these knives are the best. Ta-da! Okay, so I forgot one first crucial step is that you want to preheat the oven. And it says here to preheat the oven to 350. So let's go do that. Here's my oven. So bake 350. Preheat. Here's Chippendale. Okay, so for the next step, hi. So the next step is you want to scrape all the stuff out. Now you want to keep as much of the sides in as possible, but you want to get rid of the stringy crap, stringy stuff. You also want to have a trash can nearby. I'm not going to show you the trash can, trust me, it's there. Ooh, try not to get seeds everywhere, especially if you have cats. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this over the trash can. Okay, pro tip. Use a spoon that is thin. The first spoons I was using, they were kind of thick. Use a thin spoon. Try to keep junk on the cookie sheet or on the cutting board, especially if you have cats around, because cats like to play with pumpkin seeds. So yeah, that's how it should look. So let's do the other half. You don't want that to happen. I hope I got that on camera. Okay, when scraping out your pumpkin, it's very important to get all the stringy, gooey stuff out. I learned from experience that not getting all that out, your pumpkin will be stringy. They'll have strings in it. It's really gross. Also, I've noticed if the sugar pumpkin is overripe or almost going bad, when you're scraping it, if you can see inside here, that'll just continue to come apart. And again, your pie will be stringy. This happens to be a really good sugar pumpkin. It's got really thick walls. That's what we'll be using to mash. And yeah, it's gonna be a good pumpkin. So after you scrape it all out and you make a huge mess on your countertop, you'll wanna prepare it for the stove, for the oven, not the stove. You don't cook it on the stove top. Side note, I didn't show you guys, but I did wash my pumpkin. It says to wash it first. Remove the stem and the seeds, and I did that, as you saw. And then Now we will put it on the cookie sheet. Okay, you want it fully lined because once it starts cooking, it'll ooze everywhere. So you take the 2 pumpkin halves, place them face down on the cookie sheet, and then cover them with aluminum foil. Okay, so now all we have to do is stick it in the oven, have it bake for about 1.5 hours, and then after that we'll let it cool and go from there. Here goes nothing. All right, so like I said, it'll take about 1.5 hours for it to cook. After that, we'll let it cool and we will work on the next step. All right, check back later. All right, welcome back to day 2 of pumpkin pie making. Again, you could always do this whole process in one day. It doesn't have to be separated by days, but I just chose to do it in this case. So now that your pumpkin is all cooked, try not to dump it on the counter. When it is all cooked, it'll peel easily from, you want to peel the edging off because you don't want to mash, the skin. You just dump it in there and it'll fall right off. It just, like I said, falls right out. If it's like kind of warm, you may want to kind of scoop it out, but normally if you let it cool long enough, it'll just fall right out of the skin. Okay, so the next step is that you're going to want to mash it. So it's going to look like that in the bowl. Take your masher and mash, like so. Just give it a good mashing. Get a spoon prepared. Now the next step is that you'll want to add whipping cream. I typically use Trader Joe's whipping cream, but I didn't get any at Trader Joe's. So for this recipe, I'm going to use this as whipping cream. So instructions say 1/2 cup to a cup. 1/2 cup to a cup. And I usually put the full amount, a cup. Off camera, I went ahead and melted the butter because that's the next step. You want 1 stick of melted butter. Okay, next on the list of ingredients is 2 eggs. 2 eggs. No shells. If you do get a shell in there, then just say whoever finds it wins a prize. Next is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla extract. Okay, next is a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and ground nutmeg. I don't know where my teaspoon is, so we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon twice, because 2 halves make a whole. Pro tip. Ground nutmeg. And cinnamon. It doesn't have to be like a heaping teaspoon. I just kind of shake it off and make it as level as possible. I haven't had any complaints with my pie, so. Now these instructions also say for brown sugar, which is next, 1/2 cup to a cup of brown sugar. I like to go all in, so we're gonna do a full cup. Now I know when you're baking cookies it says packed brown sugar. This does not say packed, but I'm gonna loosely pack it. There you go. Again, it doesn't need to be level. It's not packed. It's not like baking cookies, so. And then it says last ingredient is a pinch of salt. I never really was taught what a pinch of salt was like that, so I'll just dump a little in my hand and there. Last but not least, I add this in. It's not on the ingredients list, but I add it in just because. And just a little sprinkle of it. Pumpkin pie spice from Trader Joe's. Just like that. So now that we did all that, we're gonna mix it up. I'm going to hand whisk. If you feel you're not getting the results you want, you can always bust out the hand mixer. Ta-da! Now you want it to be really creamy. Now usually this mixture will fill up 2 pies, but what I'm gonna do is make little mini pies because I'm gonna take this into work and feed my coworkers. And if I have any of the filling left over, I'll fill up this. Now you can get really fancy. It's got instructions on how to make, well, actually no, it doesn't. I lied. You can get like the Trader Joe's pie crust and, or make your crust from scratch. I know there's a lot of fancy people out there that can do that. I haven't tried it. I've been happy with the Keebler pie crust. It's yummy. So we're gonna go with this. Okay, I'm a little confused. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little pies. We all see that here. 2 lids. 2 lids. How is that gonna work? Okay, now you want to very carefully pour it into the pie shells. Okay, so there you have it. This is what your pie will look like in the pie shell when it's about to go in the oven. Notice the speckles of yumminess. This one, in a perfect world, I'd have it filled up more, but that's okay. I don't think my coworkers are going to complain for a little extra crust. All right, so it's going to go in the oven now. Okay, so it's going to go in the oven for an hour or until firm. The tiny pies you'll want to watch, and when you know that they're done, they'll be like a little darker brown. And when you shake not hard, but like lightly shake the cookie sheet in the oven, they'll jiggle a little like Jell-O, just a little bit. Or you can take them out and put the toothpick in it, and then if it comes up clean, for the most part, then it's done. Okay, so while my pies are baking, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching my video. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that big thumbs up and ring that notification bell. Special shout out to Danelle, I know you're watching. I want to thank you, and thank you to all my subscribers. I'm almost to 100. Got 6 more, so if you know some friends, have them subscribe, that'd be awesome. And we'll check back for my pies when they're done. All right, see you then. Okay, so I just checked the pies. The mini ones are almost done. It's been about 30 minutes. The big one is still really runny. I'll show you, hold on. See, it's still runny, but those are almost done. All right, the mini pumpkin pies are done. As you can see here, they're nice and golden brown. Got a little bit of light brown edging. That's how you know they're done. Also, I did poke them with the toothpick. It came up clear. And they are ready to cool. Right, the big pie is still in the oven cooking. It's still a little runny in the middle, so we're gonna let that cook a little bit longer. But the mini ones, again, had to come out earlier because they're smaller. And yeah, so I'm gonna take these to work. Hope my coworkers liked them. If you are one of my coworkers and you are watching this video, go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up and comment down below how you like the pumpkin. If you have any questions about this recipe or anything having to do with pumpkin pies, go ahead and leave a comment and I will answer any of your questions. I'm not like an expert, chef or anything, but I think I'm pretty good at making pies. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you again for watching and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.